Donald Trump's attacks against Ron DeSantis or Rob DeSantis are very weird generally, but we're about to hit one of the weirdest. It has to do with DeSantis's name. Now, you're probably familiar at this point that relatively recently, a couple years ago, he started changing how he pronounced his last name. So that is true. You can see it in video. He used to call himself DeSantis. Now he calls himself DeSantis. Why exactly is he doing that? It's complicated, I suppose, but that's what he did. It used to be D, now it's duh. And so, of course, you get the ultimate duh from Donald Trump, who bleated, "Have you heard that Rob DeSanctimonious wants to change his name again? He is demanding that people call him DeSantis rather than DeSantis. Actually, I like duh better, a nicer flow, so I am happy he is changing it. He gets very upset when people, including reporters, don't pronounce it correctly. Therefore, he shouldn't mind DeSanctimonious." You see what he did there? He reminded people the fact that he changed his name, but he reversed which way he changed it. And now he's saying everyone should call him the original one. This is literally what a 4-year-old would do to another 4-year-old. Hey, don't call me that. See, he likes to be called that. These are full-grown men. Some of them old. Trump is an old man. And the thing is, see, I'm gonna get them to call you DeSantis again. And he's gonna do this, and DeSantis is not gonna hit him back. It is so pathetic. He humiliates DeSantis, but he gets his money's worth twice over out of it. He does the attack, which humiliates DeSantis. And then when the right-wing base watches that DeSantis has no strength in his response, it humiliates him twice over. This is why DeSantis is not gonna be president, because of the name thing, honestly. What do you think, Jessica?
I thought he used to be DeSantis, and then I recently heard him for the first time say DeSantis. But maybe I have my timeline wrong. It's
it literally doesn't even matter.
No.
But
it doesn't.
It's that he's not gonna defend himself. He's just not going to.
He's not
going to. It's weirdly anti-Italian too at the same time. I don't care. I'm not gonna defend it as an Italian person, but it definitely is. And so he's not defending himself in terms of being Italian either. And then he gets hit again. We're gonna end with one more thing. This is a montage of DeSantis or DeSantis or whatever the hell it is. Take a look at this.
Donald Trump has done a better job of appointing judges, both on the Supreme Court and the courts of appeal, than any Republican president in modern times. Donald Trump wrote The Art of the Deal. He knows how to negotiate. He's a master negotiator. Trump instinctively is tough on China. The strong horse is who they respect. The president's a strong horse. Now look, they're not gonna give him credit. This is all pre-cooked narratives. They have their anti-Trump narrative set.
Trump is spreading that, and he should. He can, because DeSantis, Rob. Can I call you Rob? Rob traveled around the country for years with his entire political identity being that he was going to suck up to Trump more than anyone else was. And he did that knowing that he wanted to run for president someday, and yet he did it. And so honestly, I'm not even mad at Trump for spreading this sort of stuff. It makes all the sense in the world. What do you think?
I'm also upset about the anti-Italian American discrimination here. I think maybe what happened there was some kind of survey that was run by the DeSantis campaign, the Romney campaign. And they said, which name can you take more seriously? And I think that's what they went with. I don't think it's how you actually pronounce the name. I don't think that had anything to do with this. I think genuinely they did some kind of marketing scheme because they invest so much money in messaging.
That's true.
Unfortunately, it matters. And I think that's really what went down there. But I don't think he's gonna stand up for himself against Donald Trump. I think what he's gonna do is try and appeal to the party establishment and try and keep Trump's base in his favor. And Trump is making his own base question some of what he says, because at his rallies, his most dedicated supporters, when he hates on Ron, they don't join in and boo about Ron. They don't cheer Trump on when he hates on Ron DeSantis. So what does that tell you? That his base actually is a favorable view of DeSantis. So That's not great for Donald Trump to always hate on him. And DeSantis is smart enough to know that and be like, all right, I'm not gonna cause division here. I'm just gonna slowly absorb Trump's base, which could work in the long run if Ron keeps being the safe candidate for the establishment, which goes a long way in a primary, where the party has a lot to say about what goes down.
But you don't think that months of this sort of mockery is gonna have an effect? That the base won't follow Trump and be like, yeah, you know what, he is ridiculous, he is insane, he is disgusting in the case of the pudding fingers. You don't think that that's gonna like wear away?
I don't know. I think it might not matter as much as we think it does, because we've seen in the past, like the 2016 primary with Bernie Sanders and Hillary, where Bernie was the popular candidate, in 2020 as well. And the rigging of the primary process really gave us our candidate. We had the DNC because Hillary was the safe, favorable establishment candidate. They started giving her the victory fund, and she was spending those dollars in the primary before she even clinched the nomination. She was just in cahoots with the party.
That is true, but what if for months, rather than focusing on the millionaires and the billionaires, what if Bernie had put out tweets saying, she wants her name to be Clinton now. I preferred Clinton, but she wants Clinton. Maybe we'd be in a different position.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.